After that very insightful interview with the project lead for Lumen Plus, Techtegration dove into decomposing the interview to gain an understanding what our clients' requirements are for a successful project recipe.
Our business is growing and customer demand for customization is becoming more complex. We hence executed several projects to address our bottlenecks and meet demand.
What Julien is stating here translates into a need for a project charter. The project charter, according to the PM book, is defined as a document issued by the project sponsor that formally authorizes the existence of a project and provides the project manager with the authority to apply organizational resources to project activities.
We have several departments such as IT, marketing, finance, engineering, manufacturing, and others. And upper management communicates the needs to certain projects to the department managers. We don't have PM office.
Portfolio management is done by senior management, which is then communicated to the functional group leaders. These leaders then assign projects to resources within their team. The lack of a project management office makes Lumen Plus a classic functional organization.
I try to fit them into my work schedule. I find it hard to juggle with the various tasks and deliverables, and often this causes delay on the project.
This is a well-known disadvantage of a functional organization, as projects are often set aside or inadequately prioritized.
Well, we were 40% above the budget. We were well over the initial project completion time, and we still have not been able to achieve the cuts to the quality standard we needed.
It appears that Lumen Plus has struggled with all the three components of the triple constraints: time, cost, and performance.
Project goals keep changing every month. They started out wanting a small laser to cut acrylic, but ended up wanting a 16 long laser that could also cut metal. So every time they changed the outcome, it set me back.
Lumen Plus seems to have suffered from a constantly changing scope on this project, hence expressing its need for scope definition.
Each meeting we will have a new person from a different department talking about their needs or why we even needed the laser. Some of them decided to talk among themselves and called the suppliers to check the capability without even informing me.
Did they know you were leading the project?
No, I guess not.
There are several requirements that pop up from these statements, such as stakeholder definition and project legitimacy as part of a project charter and the kick-off meeting in defining the legitimacy of the project lead.
They didn't even know what goals the upper management has set and what the actual initial goal of the project is. What worse, the people involved in the project wanted one outcome one day when we provide them samples. Turned out they wanted something else. There was no clarity.
This statement proves a need to define the legitimacy of the project and the statement of work to avoid the high frequency of scope change.
I would go to the department concerned and wait a bit for a person from the department at the time to help me.
It will be a more efficient use of Julien's time to first break down the project in a work breakdown structure, WBS, and develop work packages which he can find owners for.
What if I set a priority on and another person does not understand what I meant?
Having a WBS dictionary at this point will ease Julien of his concern.
I just did one task after another. If I was waiting on information for somebody, I would just switch to doing my day-to-day tasks. Come to think of it, many things could have been done in parallel.
Not only does the statement outline the disadvantage of the functional organization structure, but also identifies the need to identify hard, soft, and external dependencies. Julien can achieve this by listing all activities, identifying the longest chain or the critical path, and displaying the project time and chain path in a network diagram.
Well, I knew I had to deliver in a year, but I didn't really set out deadlines for individual tasks. And to be fair, the numbers of things to deliver also change all the time. In the beginning, I had just to buy a laser. But later, I started to realizing that I had to buy a filtration machine, a transformer, exchange cylinder. I even had to build a room to isolate the laser. What's more, upper management said that I didn't have to just buy the machine, but I had to integrate it on the floor. This meant designing a process, hiring operators, thinking about layout. I was getting overwhelmed.
This statement not only further emphasizes the need for a WBS, but also gives rise to several other requirements, including a budget and a schedule. A clearly outlined schedule could help Julien stay on track. He could also better accommodate and visualize scope changes using the scheduling tool and better allocate resources. Additionally, project integration is an essential step. Most project negates, and a well-designed schedule can absorb this step.
We sent samples back and forth a number of times before we defined what we needed. It was quite frustrating for our vendors.
The project is in need of a well-defined quality plan with deliverables, attributes, metrics, methods of measuring metrics, and tools.
The laser was a complex machine to buy, and there was a lot I didn't know going in. I feel a little more time could be spent on researching. Buying support systems like transformers really pushed my timeline and cost model. The integration of the laser to the production floor was a definite curveball.
Good integration management with defined phases could do the trick in this case.
Training people also, getting them used to equipment and making them follow the process has been such a big problem that I feel I will be with the project for at least another year.
Now, we have our skeleton of needs which we have worked to translate into high-level requirements. The following video will show you how we integrated these elements to help develop a better project plan for the company's next machinery acquisition. Thanks for watching, guys! You can hit the like button if you appreciated this video, and also don't forget to subscribe and activate the bell to get notifications.